We are sharing, so slope-intercept. This is slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. I would write this on your card. All right, so the m is my slope. The b is my y-intercept. All right, so the y-intercept, that is my slope. So if it asks for the slope, you're going to tell me 3. If it asks for the y-intercept, write it as a coordinate, so it'll be 0, -2. So this tells you it's 0 on your x, it's -2 on your y. Even though it's written slope-intercept form, we graph the y-intercept first, and then we use the slope. So I'm going to go down 2 for my y-intercept. I'm going to use my slope. Now remember, if you see nothing underneath it, it will be an invisible 1 for your denominator. This means I'm going to go up 3 and write 1. The more words you write, the more steps you write on your paper, the more it'll get stuck in your brain. If you see a negative and you get confused about what you're doing, write it down. So from this point, I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and go write 1. Now, if your graph is too small and you have no room to do this, I can switch the signs on both. So this is the same thing as going 3 down and 1 left, okay? So if I wanted to, I could have gone 3 down, 1 left, and see how they make the same line, okay? You will need a straight edge for your test, for your final, so make sure you bring something straight. Your phone does not count. Your ID does, so if you want to bring your ID, go for it, because you have to bring it anyway. So that would be your slope. That's your y-intercept. That is the line you should be graphing. Now to go backwards, if it asks for an equation from this, you need to find the right blank x plus blank, okay? Find the slope. So count your rise over your run. Slope is rise over run. Slope is, hope you're saying that in your head, rise over run, and your y-intercept will be down there. So find where your y-intercept is, find what your slope is, stick them in, and you're done, okay? So that's how you'd write an equation for it. Standard form is in ax plus by equals c, okay? That constant is all by itself, okay? This a has to be positive, and there are no fractions. So there are no fractions, which is nice, but it's even better the fact that it's set up so I can plug in a 0 for my x and a 0 for my y. Once we get 2 points, we have a line. So if I plug in 0 for my x, it means I go back to my equation, and I'm going to use that parentheses. Whenever I substitute, I have to use parentheses. So I'm going to get 3 parentheses plus 4y equals -12. I know what I'm going to plug in for x. That's a 0. 3 times 0 is gone. All right, I have 4 times y is -12. So 4 times what makes -12? Or we can divide by 4 on both sides and end up with y being -3. Okay, that gives me 1 point. We're going to find the next point, then we'll plot both of them together. So for this next one, I don't know what x is, so I'm going to leave the x alone, but I know y will be 0. So I'm going to put 0 in for y equals 12. That's a plus sign. Okay, 4 times 0, nada. Okay, 3 times what makes, make sure it's a -12. Keep your signs straight. 3 times what makes -12? -4. Okay, I now have 2 points. 2 points make a line. So I'm going to go 0 on my x, down 3 on my y. Then I'm going to go left 4 on my x and not anything up on my y. 2 points make a line. So take your straight edge, connect them. Make sure you have arrows go all the way through the graph. It better be straight. So even if you're sketching it, it better be straight. And that is how you graph standard. So plug in 0 for your x, 0 for your y. Put an example in your card, okay? You have a 3x5 card, front and back, for your final.